Deb here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 12 signs that you might have a food addiction. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you what to do if you do relate to having these signs so that you can get on your path of true, lasting freedom from food. So if this is a topic that you are eager to hear more about, then make sure to like this video so I know to make more videos like this for you. Hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit the bell to be notified every time I post a new video. And in case you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Debbie Lichter, food addiction expert and founder of the Freedom Embodied Academy, where I help high-achieving women get free from food addiction and food obsession so that you can feel comfortable in your skin and have the confidence to be authentically you and shine your light in the world. Okay, so when I was deep in my food obsession and out of control eating, I didn't know I had a food addiction, which is actually something that I go more into in this video right here. But I truly feel like I struggled for so much longer than I needed to because I didn't know what my real problem was, which is why I wanted to create this video so that you could understand the signs of what it means to have a food addiction and evaluate if that might be something that you relate to so that you can get more clarity about your real problem and get the real help that you need. Now, before we get into this list, I just want to say that this is not meant to diagnose you. So my recommendation for how to go through this video is that you set aside any preconceived ideas about what you do have or what you don't have, and you listen to these 12 signs and just consider if you have experienced that description before. No judgment, no beating yourself up. If you do relate to one or more of those signs, then make sure to stick around till the end because I will give you some suggestions for next steps. I also just want to explain where this list comes from. So essentially, this list comes from my own personal struggle with food addiction for 2 decades, and also from really studying and noting the commonalities that I have witnessed in countless people that I have worked with over the last decade to support them on their path of freedom from food addiction and food obsession. So is this an exhaustive list? No. But is this a comprehensive list that can absolutely help you get clarity? Yes. Okay, so the first sign is that you think and obsess about food constantly. So this could be you if when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you think about is food, or when you're in the middle of eating breakfast, you're already thinking about lunch, or you're in the middle of eating lunch, you're already thinking about dinner, or you're in the middle of a conversation and your mind wanders off because you start thinking about what to eat. Okay, so the second sign is eating when you are not hungry. So this can have you walking into the kitchen or opening up the cupboard and not even knowing why you're there, or coming to realizing that you're halfway finished with a bag of chips and you weren't even hungry to begin with, or shortly after a meal wanting to have more food even though you know your body is not actually hungry. Sign number 3 is that once you start eating, you do not want to stop. It's like something else takes over. And even though you're full, even though you're stuffed, even though you know you're going to be sick, it's like you don't want to stop eating. Sign number 4 is that you don't stay stopped. So you can swear off certain foods or certain behaviors, but then you find at one point you go back to those behaviors or you go back to those foods in spite of all the promises that you've made to yourself. Sign number 5 is that in the face of negative consequences like health concerns or like strain in your relationships, you still are not able to stop or control your compulsive eating or your obsessing on food. Sign number 6 is that you avoid or cancel social arrangements, either because you're embarrassed about the way that you look, or because you don't trust yourself with food, or because frankly, you just rather stay in and eat. Sign number 7 is that you are uncomfortable eating around others. You prefer to eat alone and you hide. You hide what you eat and you hide how much you eat. Sign number 8 is that you have tried to moderate and control your food through diets or through willpower, but you aren't able to sustain it. Sign number 9 is that even though you are typically constantly thinking about food, when you actually eat, it's oftentimes frantic, rushed, and not present at all. Sign number 10 is that you have tremendous guilt during and or after you eat. Sign number 11 is that you eat more and more as time goes on. So, maybe you had 1 chocolate bar on your drive home and that turns into 3 chocolate bars on your drive home. And then that turns into 3 chocolate bars on your drive home plus a half a pizza when you get home. And sign number 12 is that you can become very possessive, selfish, and antisocial when you're with your food. Now, I know this isn't the most attractive one to identify with, but I will just tell you that this was me to a T. I became incredibly possessive and selfish and antisocial when it came to me and my food. Okay, so how many of these signs do you relate to? Go ahead and post a comment below. And remember, no judgment whatsoever. It takes so much courage to share where you are at. And I really want to acknowledge you if you are willing to share. And I also want to say that what I find is that it's the people who are willing to share where they are at that are usually among the first to get free. So I know I promised I would share some next steps if you do relate to one or more of these signs. So here are my suggestions. Number 1, get honest. Now, you've already been getting honest just by considering this list, but now you want to ask yourself, how is the way I'm being with food working for me? The second question you want to ask yourself is, am I ready to be done with this? In other words, is the pain or the cost or the negative consequences that I'm experiencing outweighing the fleeting experience of comfort that I'm currently getting from food? Number 2, get clarity, understanding what causes food addiction in the first place and what to do to actually get on your path of lasting freedom from food, which is something that I go more into in this video right here. And if you are really serious about wanting to have freedom from food, I'm going to leave another resource in the description box below, the Freedom from Food Addiction Clarity Guide. I will leave a link to it. You can download it for free. It's going to go into a lot more detail. Number 3, get help. So food addiction can be tough because we can tell ourselves that we know what to do, and the only thing that's missing is that we're not doing what we know that we need to do. But in my experience, we actually don't know what we need to do, and the things that we think that we're supposed to be doing are actually things that are keeping us stuck and blocking our freedom. And when you're looking for help, I highly recommend that you find guidance and support from someone who specializes in freedom from food addiction, not just somebody who's focused on weight loss or on nutrition. And some other qualities that I recommend that you look for are wanting what that person has, and that person having been where you've been, and also that person having a proven pathway that specifically addresses what is driving you to food in the first place, not just a food plan or a diet strategy. And most importantly, that this person is really supporting you in coming home to yourself and your own inner guidance instead of you being dependent on them. So there you have it, 12 signs of food addiction and 3 recommendations for what to do to get on your path of freedom from food. So hopefully you have some more clarity around your own food struggle and some guidance with what to do next. And if you would like to explore getting my support for your path of freedom from food, I will leave a link in the description box below for you to schedule a call with my team. And if you have any other questions about food addiction or food obsession, please leave a comment below. I would love to support you. And if you got some value here today, please do give this video a like, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time.